There's something absolutely phenomenal locked up in you, right in your core of your being.
There's a marvelous inner world that operates within you.
When you set a standard, you're coming from a frequency up here, so what you're going to attract is what's in that frequency. And when you make it a habit, your whole world is going to change.
Give up the stories of the past. Let go of the fear. It's never too late to be who you really are.
If you can see it here, you can hold it here.
When we make a decision, mountains move.
We're there. That's the key. We're there.
When your mind goes there, make up your mind it's going to stay there because it is a place.
Hello there, everyone, and welcome to day 2. I am so excited for this day. It's called Implementing the New You. But before we start, let's go over some housekeeping items. So number 1, I want to thank you all for joining me here live today. I also want to let you know today we are going live on Facebook, we're going live on LinkedIn, and also on YouTube. And the replay will be up till Friday. So if you don't catch the live here and now, you can watch the replay. So I want you to grab a pen and paper because there will be things that I will say during this event here that will resonate with you. So then I want you to write it down. So let's start. But before we start with day number 2, I want to recap day number 1. So yesterday we talked about goal setting. We started to build your vision, and we also found out that the purpose will find us so we can relax. But one thing we got to do is we got to start setting goals. Because if we don't, we will not move forward. Our results will be the same. So when we start setting goals, we're starting to move towards where we want to go. So that is super, super important. So I want to say welcome again, and also let me know where you're coming from, where you're kind of listening in from. I am sitting in Norway. I also want to make sure that all of you worked on your want list from yesterday, because sometimes it's also hard to write down what we really, really want, because we have never done it before. We have maybe just thought about, I want to go on holiday there, I want to do that, but we never really sat down with a pen and asked ourselves, what do I really want? Not what my father or not what my mother wants, or my friends or colleagues or partner. What you want. And sometimes that can feel a bit like tough, but it is the way to go. And also, you are the only one who can do this job. No one can do it for you. And I think that's important to say, because in this world we're living in, we're so used to things happening fast, and we're so used to people telling us what to do, where to go, what food to eat, what to like, what to not like. But this is your life. So make sure that you sit down, if you haven't, and write this wonderful list of what you really, really want. Because it's fun when you start, you're discovering more of yourself. And that is the way you're going to start the process, and the purpose will find you. So let's jump now into day 2, implementing the new you. So yesterday we found out where we were and what we wanted. Some of us set a goal. Some of us are still working on that list and building it. But to change, to get new results, you have to start thinking differently. You have to start feeling differently. You have to also step into who is that person who has achieved that goal. So let's say that you wanted to get a house, or maybe you wanted to build a business. What kind of qualities does that person have? What does that person do like on a regular basis? Does that person have discipline? Is that person focused? Is that person around a lot of people that wants to build that business with that person? How is other people seeing that person? And most importantly, how do you feel now that your goal has been achieved? How do you dress? How do you look? Who is this person? And many people also, when it comes to self-image, they say you have to fake it till you make it. No, absolutely no faking it till you make it, because that person is already within you. Because here's the fun thing also, when you start building your self-image, you have to look at other people, like what characteristics you like in them. So let me give you an example. Like, for example, many of you know that I love Oprah Winfrey. I think she is absolutely amazing. The way she speaks, her knowledge, the way she carries herself proudly, the way she listens when others speaks. Those are qualities I love about her. And I love that she also leads from the heart. Now, I am not trying to be Oprah Winfrey, but I love those qualities because I see something in someone else that I already have within. So, what I need to do is express those qualities, embody it, because it is within me. And you can do this with a lot of different people and put it together. And also look at your qualities, what you already know of yourself, what you're good at. And this is fun. This is super fun. But the work starts with embodying it and being that person. And that can feel uncomfortable because we've been trained to be this person that we are today. And everyone knows us at that person. So if we start to change, then people we think will react. And what we think, because thoughts are powerful, will manifest on the outside. So that person that you want to be, maybe that person only cares about being good and is not thinking about what other people think, because that person knows that it's about growth, it's about what is it called in English? Climbing the ladder. So when you climb the ladder and you take one step at the time and you gain a little bit more confidence at the time, but you keep climbing, you don't give up. And I want you to really embody this, because for many people, after they set a goal and then moving into their new self, is also described as the hardest work you can do, because you are kind of analyzing what is holding you back and who you want to become. So the reason why many people are not daring to totally go into this exercise is because we have some habitual behavior. And one of my clients, I actually love it. She calls it the crazy lady in the house. And I think it's such a good explanation, because that crazy lady, that habitual behavior that is trying to sabotage you, or we can also call it inner speech, is not you, but it's been with you for so long because it's been installed in you from when you were little. So, of course, there is going to take time to change it. So, a lot of inner chatter, all that crazy lady, what she says, and it's different for everyone, but I want to give you some examples so you can recognize your inner chatter or your crazy lady or whatever you want to call it. Some people call it gremlin. So, that inner chatter is very quiet, and some people don't hear it, but they can also get it in feelings. It can be, you're too old. Why do you want to go there? You never gone there. You don't have enough money. Who do you think you are? You're too fat. You're too thin. You're not capable of convincing people. It's different from everyone. Like, one I remember that I had to work on for myself is that I had to start loving myself for having dyslexia. I had to start loving that that was a blessing instead of something that held me back. Because when I focused on that, that is something that's holding me back, the energy in my body changes. And this is something that's really important also to understand, because when you're entertaining those negative inner chat, which you've been programmed to do, when you're entertaining that, you are letting the energy being sucked out of you. And I don't think that is something that we want. I don't think that is something we want to happen. But it happens, and we go there habitually, and we can go there in many different ways. We can be reminded of those thoughts, like, for example, I had to see myself as worthy, that I can do this, that I'm a master, that this is a superpower. And once I kind of found where the kind of pain point, where the crazy lady was within me, I could turn it around. And I want you to think about all the inner chatter that you're saying to yourself, or the stories you're telling yourself. Because I can tell you, we all have a story. We all have gone through things that we wish we didn't go through. But what I realized is all the things that I went through made me stronger. All the losses or the abuse, it made me stronger. And it also built a foundation, because I'm here to serve. I'm here to help people see that they don't need to be in this prison anymore, because it's a kind of mental prison of our own. We can walk out, but we won't walk out of this door before we discover it ourselves. And this is what I did when I discovered Bob Proctor. I discovered that I was responsible for my thinking and for my results, and that I didn't need to live in the past. And that was so freeing. But here's the thing: when you set a new goal, new paradigms jump in, but you're constantly growing, and there's always lessons to learn. So that's cool. Now we know that. We know that the purpose will find us. We know that to change our self-image and implement the new software, our new self, we need to find what's holding us back, and find out, what is that inner chatter? What is that crazy lady or gremlin, like someone like to call it? What is that inner voice telling? Because it's a lie what that inner voice is telling. But sometimes that inner voice can be what you think the outer voice will be. And actually, Again, that's a lie, because that inner voice have no idea, that negative voice, where you can go. So now we want to build a new concept of ourselves. And going back to, okay, we're going to install a new software. We're not faking it, but we're bringing out those beautiful qualities that are already within. So for me, I looked at Oprah Winfrey, and I looked with her at her with eyes of love, because I was like, I love the way she speaks. I love the way she carries herself, how confident she is. I love the way she listens to people. So I started embodying those qualities. And also, I love the way Bob Proctor was speaking on stage, the way he owned the stage. So I took a couple of his qualities with me. I was not trying to be him, because I had it already within me. I could feel it. That's why I liked some of the things he did. And I also liked a lot of things a rock band called Guns N' Roses do. And that has to do with the energy when they're talking or playing for people. And Axl Rose, the lead singer, is singing. The way he captured the audience, I love that. So I implemented that into my self-image. So when you look at me now, I don't copy Guns N' Roses or Axl Rose, the lead singer, but I love the energy. But I implemented it in my way and installed the software in my way. And I want you to think about yourself. How do you want to create your new self? How do you want to install it? Because it's not enough to just write it down and say, yeah, that feels good. Now you got to move into action. You got to express it. You got to express it if it's like buying that vacation home, or going on a vacation, or making appointments so you can go and see your new house, or testing this car that you want. I'm not telling you to buy anything or spend all the money now. No, that's not what I'm telling you. I'm telling you to get into the feeling of how that person is and express it and own it. And 1% every day is okay. You don't have to do 100%, because sometimes that is going to cause overwhelm. But just do it and stand in it and believe that you can. And I also want you to start looking online for different characteristics that you want, or search for people you like, that you want to be like. It is so much fun, and your imagination is going to run wild. But I want you to do this, because when did we get an assignment like this in school? I did never get it. And I haven't talked to anyone else who got an assignment to create you. Like, you get to choose who you want to be and start the business you want to create. You just have to work on your self-concept and implement that. And what we're doing in this exercise, guys, is that we're using our imagination. Imagination is one of our most powerful faculties. They're all powerful, but we think in pictures. That's how we create. That is how everything is around us is created. Like, you can't see like the wood desk here, but it's created in someone's mind. And also the walls around me. Someone decided we need to create walls. The computer, like Steve Jobs, he created that. The iPhone, like everything, the airplanes, it started with a thought, an image in someone else's mind. And they moved it into form because they took action. They didn't just stay there. They didn't just wish and hope. They made a lot of mistakes on the journey. But here's the thing, mistakes are gonna happen. So you better buckle up and have fun. And don't take life so serious. I want you to really get into this, because if this is where you are, this is where you are, and your goal is up here, you need to climb a couple of ladders to get there. But what's going on here in the middle, that's the knowing and doing gap. And that's also where your paradigms are kind of hijacking you and holding you back from taking action. Your paradigms, and we kind of talked about it, and we can simplify it. It's your inner chatter. It's that negative voice, the crazy lady who's trying to hold you back from achieving what you want. That person will say, wait, don't invest now, don't do it now, wait. And what most people do is that they wait. Don't let that be you. If you're sitting there and you have this feeling like, I want to be out there, I want to create, then this is for you. And tomorrow I'm going to talk about decision making. Because when you make a decision, you are jumping to the next level. But I want you to think about, how does this new self think? And I also want you to, if you don't have the workbook, just send me a message and I will send it to you. But if you have it, it's on page, and I can't see the page number, but it's session number 2. And I want you to think about, what influences are you consenting to in your life? What are you letting control your life that maybe you're not aware of? Are you worried about everything that is going on in the world? Are you worried about everything that's going on in the school of your children, or maybe you're studying? And do you watch the news before you go to bed also? Are you like consenting to be at gossip sites and gossiping about other people? Because then you're not creating. You're not using your power. So what are you consenting to in your life? What influences? Think about that. What influences are you completely open to? Do they encourage you to move towards your goals, to follow through, and to integrate into your behavior? Like, are you having people around you that wants you to win and they say, go, go, go? Or do you have people that said, no, I don't think you can do that? Or maybe you don't dare to express what you want. And what ideas, and this is really important for your self-image, what ideas are stopping you from taking action? Those ideas, that inner chatter, what is it telling you? Why is it telling you, for example, that you can't move forward? Or why is it saying, oh, you can do that tomorrow or next week, and then it never happens? Or next year? Because the thing is that we're kind of self-suggesting to ourselves most of the time what we don't want. And this is why I've also created this sheet here in the workbook, where it's old self and new self. Because I want you to start identifying what you're saying to yourself, what is stopping you, what you're suggesting to yourself. Because you are a powerful like manifester. You are suggesting very often things you don't want. And the way you know that is that you can look at things around you and why they're not there. It has to do with your inner chatter. It has to do with the way you're thinking. So find out, what are you saying to yourself? What is going on in that beautiful mind of you? So your homework for today is to start finding out, what are my habitual behavior? What is holding me back to step into my power? Hello, Mirna. So good to see you. What is holding me back to step into my power, to step into my goal? What are those things? What is that person saying? That inner chatter. What is that crazy lady saying that makes me stand still and not move forward? And when you have identified that, I want you to write the opposite here on the other side, the new concept of yourself, and write how you want it to be. And maybe this will take time, but I want this to be your guide. I want you to start implementing one thing on your new concept of yourself a little bit every day. And don't be hard on yourself if you don't manage to do it 100%. Constant space and repetition will improve your results. So just a little recap here. On day 1, we talked about goal setting and that you don't have to chase and hunt for your purpose because it will find you. But what you need to do is find out, what do I want? What things do I like to do? If it's traveling, or it's a house you've been dreaming about, or maybe going more to the hairdresser, or whatever it is, start writing it down. Or football for you guys. To start writing it down and get into that emotion. And in the beginning, it will feel difficult, but just keep going and say to yourself, it will come. And suggest that to yourself. Because think about athletes. When they set a goal, they are not superstars on day 1. They're progressively moving towards their goal. And when we're doing that, suddenly we meet our purpose. So we can relax. We just need to set goals and start giving ourselves what we want. And then today, we talked about you. We talked about who you want to be. Who is that person? So if you're here, how do you get there? Well, you have to start climbing the ladder and make some changes and implement the new self-concept of yourself. And also suggest to yourself, I'm doing better every day. I'm enough. I am worthy. I am powerful. I'm focused. I get it. Like, do those affirmations every time that inner chatter starts to take over. Because it's a process. And the journey is fun. But buckle up also, because there will be obstacles in the road. But once we know that, we can stop and we see clearly, and we will respond instead of reacting. And this is so powerful because when you follow this process, you are in peace, you are in harmony. But last point on the agenda today is gratitude. I want you to think about everything you have in your life and everything you have access to. So I'm thinking about just to help you on the way of gratitude. When I wanted to grow, when I was seeking more, I found Bob Proctor. So I'm so grateful for that, because through finding him, I found myself. And I'm so grateful for all the material I got into that helped me grow my mind, and all the people and all the clients that came into my life. Because seeing them grow from this material, that is my psychic income. That is why I do what I do. I'm so grateful to have all the technical equipment that helps me be here live, broadcasting to all of you this information. And I'm so grateful that you're listening. I'm so grateful that you are here, because I appreciate it. It means a lot to me. So thank you. I am so grateful that I have a bed that I sleep in every night, that I can lay my pillow down. I have that. Not many people have that. I have food in the fridge. I have a house. I have a shower. Not many people have that. So I'm grateful for that. I'm also grateful for today, that I'm sitting here and I speak about gratitude to you now. That is freaking amazing. So, this is also a way to implement good energy into your body. Because when you're grateful, you can't be in a bad mood. And when you smile, you can't be in a bad mood. It changes the chemistry in your body. So there are small techniques you can do to get to the next, to the next, to the next level. And we're always growing. We're here to grow and not to get. All right, guys, I am so grateful. And I hope you're going to do the homework, but only you can do it, and only you can decide that you want to do it. And that's powerful. You hold the power. So before I let you go, I want to share an meditation I made this morning. So I just want you to close your eyes wherever you are. And I just want you to relax and enjoy this. And then I see you, by the way, tomorrow, same time as you showed up today. And then we're going to talk about decision making. And that is so powerful. So thank you. And I see you tomorrow. I want you to close your eyes. And then I want you to bring to the screen of your mind one of the things you wrote on your want list yesterday. It could be having a car. It could be you on stage, getting an award, having your dream vacation. I want you to inhabit that moment. And I want you to ask yourself, what is the smell in the room if you are in your dream house? What is cooking in the kitchen? Or if you are on vacation, can you feel the wind in your hair? Can you hear the ocean? Feel the sand under your feet? Can you feel the fresh air? How does it feel to be in this vision? What do you hear
What sounds are there? Make this as much as a sensory experience as possible. Now, if you're connected to your goal, that image, you should feel different. You should feel lighter, more excited. And when you can feel that emotion, you feel that. I want you to freeze this frame. Pause the visualization. And I want you to spin this camera around so that you can see yourself in that goal. What are you wearing? What is the expression on your face? How do you stand? Are you more fit? I want you to see yourself and build that image of yourself more. This picture of yourself in that goal, that picture is your new self-image. And the amazing thing is that you get to ask yourself any question. Maybe your day didn't go exactly as you wanted it. You get to ask, what can I do today to move towards my goal? I just had this unfortunate thing happening today. What should I think about it? What can I do? Now you develop those answers and build that picture of your new self-image.